I have an overly dramatic feline. He's in the background just going.
Oh.
I woke up with my alarm this morning, and when he hit, his reaction to my alarm was, "Let me crawl on top of his chest and just mope." So I'm sitting there trying, because my alarm goes off at 5, which is when the reveals are. So I'm sitting there trying to do the article about the new A spec, and I've got this cat on my chest. I'm like, "Cat, you're making it really hard to do this."
I love my kitty. He's the sweetest thing. Did you see those videos I posted this week with him?
I didn't. I've been so busy, I haven't seen much of anything.
Right, that makes sense. It was to my personal Instagram. He's just sleeping, and I'm playing with his nose, playing with his paws. He doesn't react at all. He's like dead. And then I finally like just stick my finger in his mouth, and then he looks at me like, "What are you doing?" And then gives me a kiss and then lays back down. I love cats.
That's a sweet cat. They're very nice animals.
I used to only be a dog person because that's all I ever had. And then I thought cats had no souls. But then I finally met this one, found him in the wall during the pandemic. I was breaking open the bathroom wall while I was remodeling and found him. And just the sweetest thing from day one, sweeter than my dogs, just so calm, no issues, not doesn't want my attention 24/7, but always wants to be around me and loves me. And anyway, oh my God, we're doing a podcast for Pokemon. What are we doing?
We are doing a podcast.
What are we doing?
We
Hello,
are
everybody.
doing the PokeBeach.com podcast. This is John, our water Pokemon master.
And
I am Justin Basil of
Basil.
JustinBasil.com.
Let's switch for a day. Let's switch for a day.
Not.
Yeah, let's see what happens. Let's do it.
No,
there's not
I'm
that much
people.
There's not that much news this week. No. Like you read the articles and I'll do the analysis.
Oh Lord, everybody cry.
I know.
I'm going to be reading articles. John's going to be doing analysis. This is going to be a fun one.
It's going to be like,
righty. All right, let's go to the first article, shall we?
This card is colorful. It should be good.
This card is pretty.
Text.
It has sparkles.
All right, so let's get into
like Ralph from Simpsons. All right,
let's get into
let's jump into it, shall we? Let's start off with the Greninja EX Ultra Premium Collection. It's apparently going to be a GameStop exclusive.
Oh, you want to start from the back? Okay, cool. Was that
Start from the bottom.
Was that the first story of the week?
So it was. We hit on the Greninja EX Ultra Premium Collection last week. I know we were both kind of dismayed by the lack of anything vaguely interesting in the kit. But it's going to be GameStop exclusive. So if you are somebody who goes to GameStop often and has too much money to spend, this is an ideal product for you.
Yeah. Is it? It's $120. And I'm starting
but if
to
you have too much money,
I'm starting to think more. Last week, I was mentioning how Pokemon used to use placeholder images. I don't know. There is so much coming out in that Terastal festival set in December. I'm wondering if they just can't show them yet, if they are alternate arts that are coming from that set.
I'm really, really hoping that's what it is.
Because But
this comes out November 1st, which is not that far out.
It's only 3-4 weeks before that Japanese set does, and we've had that before where an English promo will come out like a month before, and that's fine. But maybe they just
we've seen quite a bit of art from Terastal Festival already.
Oh yeah, I guess that's a good counterpoint. So I don't know. So we'll see. Maybe it's gonna just be as bad as we.
I'm like, I would love for you to be right. I would love for this to be placeholder art and it to be really cool art, and everybody would want it, and people will go to GameStop and pick up their stuff. I'm just not seeing it. I don't. It's not doing it for me.
No, I think
especially
it has
not at $120.
I think it has a cool box design, so that's the only thing I think that's cool about it as it stands. But we'll see if they do anything else different. And then we've also discovered that the Grand Adventure Collection, which was announced for the US for November 15th, will not be releasing in Europe. The promos will just be given out individually instead. So I don't know why they are doing this. I could speculate, but I'm afraid to, because sometimes when I speculate, people take it as, fact. I'm wondering if it's like, no, I'm not going to say anything. Okay. But instead, TPCI will send the promos to retailers to hand out to customers. They recommend that retailers give them to customers who spend 20 euros or more on Pokemon TCG products. They can award them at their own discretion. Each retailer will get 25 copies of each, the Sprigatito, the Fuecoco, and the Tropicos and Friends Jumbo card. However, those holding pre-releases will be given 50 of each instead. And in some countries, the retailers will be, what's the word when you space it? They're going to be spacing out the releases. So Sprigatito in France will be given out from November 15th until December 15th, then Fuecoco until January 15th, and then the Jumbo card until February 15th. So one a month.
This is called milking it, I believe.
Yeah, because you have to, we get a box that, what did it cost again? I had it in the other story. So our box costs
20.
Oh,
$20
did we not
isn't
have the price? Oh, I guess I forgot the price. Something like that. So, but then in Europe, you're going to have to spend like 2 to 3 times that to get each individual card, plus go to the stores to hunt them down. So poor European collectors are going to have a harder time than those of us who can just get the box. So I don't know why they're doing that, but I suspect there is a good reason for it. But anyway, that's just how it is.
They just don't want to bother to merchandise that product in Europe, and it's cheaper for them to do this kind of thing. I
kind of thought that maybe it's like, no, I don't want to speculate. Okay, anyway. All right, yeah. Next news story.
Let's look at the TCG holiday calendar 2024 promos.
Okay. Okay, so the holiday calendar already released on August 23rd for $49.99. Mm-hmm. Here are the promo cards. They are printed on the beautiful Galaxy holofoil paper, as they have been for, I think, the last year or maybe 2. And all the cards have a special snowflake stamp for all you snowflakes out there.
I also love that they are all on Cosmos holofoil. That's ideal.
Yeah, that's always ideal. That's all we ever want. That's all we ever want TPC. If they could bring that back to
just
regular
print
sets,
more stuff with silver borders on Cosmos holofoil, and the world will be a better place. That's all we need to need. It's all we need. It's just there's some trinkets in there too, like that Chin Pao trinket. I don't know if you saw that. Of course you didn't put in the article, but
of course I saw it.
You put it in the article, so of course you saw it. But no, I like the little dangler. That's kind of fun. I know there's a very specific pro player who loves Shin Pao, and I can't wait for them to get their hands on that.
You know what I'm noticing about your energy? So this is now the second or third week that you've been in school, but your energy you're so much more awake after the school day goes by, and cheerful.
Well, to be fair, last week I also was exhausted because I had been at school already for like 15 hours, I think it was.
No, but I think you were.
And this week I got out a lot faster.
No, but last week I had the same thought. I was like, oh, you're so much more cheerful. You seem so much more happy. I think that job must bring you some fulfillment.
Compared to what I had in retail before, yeah, I would say so.
Yeah, you seem happier. I like it.
I feel less like shoving my head through a brick wall.
And then what else? And yeah, this calendar has the fire type Ice Q EX, which is kind of funny, but yeah, it's still a winter.
They put a snowflake on it, so that means it's cool.
Well, it's still a winter Pokemon. It's just fire type, which is a little funny. But I guess like Frosty
snowflake on it, so it's cool now.
Frosty the Snowman melted, so there's some fire associated with Christmas sometimes, or some heat, I guess. I don't know.
I think it's a cute product. I think it's definitely probably something to pick up for fun. It's an advent calendar, is it not? So
yeah, if you have the money, every day you open a different day and you get something different. So it comes with. It comes with the 8 foil cards, 5 booster packs, 7 of the 3 card fun packs, 2 coins, 2 sticker sheets, the sidekick dangler of Xian Pao, and a code card.
Yeah, so, it's not amazing value, but it's a cool enough product that I think it's worth the price.
Yeah,
for like a little kid, this is an amazing thing for them to be able to open up each day.
Mm-hmm. And for the Cosmos holofoil as well, that's always a plus.
And for the secondhand market for the Cosmos holofoils, we have the TCG Collector's Chest for fall 2024.
Did you write an order for today's stories or something that you want me to go by?
What was that?
Did you write an order
of
today's?
No. I'm just skipping I'm skipping Paradise Dragona so we can do them in one big cluster.
Oh, okay.
And the English reveal articles I'm jumping over.
Oh, all right. I see. I'm trying to read, okay, what's next? And then you're telling me and I'm like, oh, you're on top of it today.
Got this one.
All right, a new collector's chest will release on November 15th for $29.99. These always release, I think, twice a year, 3 times a year. It'll come with 3 foil cards of Pikachu, Dipplin, Teal Mask, Ogerpon. They haven't been revealed yet, but yeah, they have cool artwork on the cover, as you can see here, cool stickers, but definitely for the little kids, or if you want
I wonder if these are going to be new art or if they're just going to be foil, the Cosmos foil versions of the ones we already have.
Yeah, I'm trying. You know what? I had to post the story so fast I didn't get to look at the previous editions because I was wondering that myself. Let me look real quick. So let's say
because these while you're looking, these used to have unique cards in them.
Yeah.
I remember back in the day I was trying to play Beast Box with the Stack Attack of GX and stuff, and there was a Duskmane Necrozma, I think it was, that one of these had. It was really important to that deck, but it was only available in these. And so I wonder if these are still unique or if they're not. Because, if they're not, that's kind of lame, honestly. Because the sticker sheets and stuff aren't going to be enough to make up for that. But, hopefully.
No, this is from 2020.
Yeah, so those are just hollow versions of the same.
They might just be Cosmos. I don't think it comes with anything unique in terms of brand new cards or unreleased cards because I would have posted a story about it. I think it's just different foil versions, just reprints with different foil, I think.
That could be interesting for Dipplin, depending on which Dipplin it is. If it's the one with the festival lead sort of attack, sure.
This is why I need to have.
But otherwise, I don't know.
I was planning to have more permanent content on the website with pages going over all the products and everything. Because even for my own benefit, there's so much stuff that comes out, I can't keep track of it.
The Pokemon pushes up so much product.
Yeah.
It's a wonder they can keep track of everything they sell. Mm-hmm. I think the next story is really big for a lot of players. Oh my God,
I was on the front page for half a second and you're telling me the next story. You're so quick today.
We got the next one.
I can't even breathe. What's the next?
No breathing.
A Charizard is, I'm guessing what you're...
Charizard.
Charizard?
They burn the air out of your lungs.
Is it
yes.
Okay.
The Charizard EX League Battle Deck releases on November 15th for $30. This is an incredible product for anybody looking to get into the TCG. This is absolutely worth picking up if you are a player who does not have a competitive deck yet, wants to pick up something that is reasonably competitive for next to nothing. $30 gets you a lot of extraordinarily good cards. You get your Charizard EXs. So you get 3 of them.
Yeah, 3.
You get a Prime Catcher. You get 2 Pidgeot EX. You even get 4 Buddy Buddy Poffin. Mm-hmm. This box is amazing. This is absolutely the best League Battle deck we've had so far. I cannot recommend this product enough.
And it's Charizard, so it'll be popular with the kids too. They can get 3 copies of the fire dragon that everybody loves. Yeah, this got a lot of attention. I saw when I posted. I thought it would get, when I first saw the product, I was like, oh yeah, this is going to be something, but I didn't quite expect it to get that kind of reaction. I got a ton of retweets on Twitter. That's not usually, so many more people go directly to the website and read it than they retweet the things on Twitter or whatever. So it's not always like a good gauge of popularity, but it got a lot of attention, and I think it's because people are excited about the upcoming season. They just saw Worlds. They every time a new season is getting ready to start, people are like, I'm going to play this season. I'm going to go to leagues. I'm going to go to tournaments. It's like doing a new school year. I'm going to do my best and join in and blah, blah, blah. So I think that's also what's contributing to a lot of people excited about this product.
Yeah,
it's an easy way to play.
It's
right now.
It's not it's not a competitive 60 right out of the box.
Yeah,
you do have to make some tweaks to it. But the tweaks they're minimal, and the cards that it comes with, they're great. Like, they're super, super good. The Buddy Buddy Poffins are amazing. It has 2 copies of Arven. It has 4 copies of I Know. It has Boss's Orders. Like, this is what you want. This is like if they never made a Trainer's Toolkit again and the League Battle decks were like this all the time, I would just understand, if that makes sense. This is quite a good product.
And I can go out and buy this for myself, so I can stop dragging ADP and Pika-ROM decks to Pokemon League when I go to play for fun.
Dragging, I don't even think they're expanded legal.
No, I don't think so.
I'm pretty sure they have banned cards in them at this point.
Yeah.
Don't.
I drag those. I drag those 2 decks to League because that's like the most recent decks that I have. But I'll definitely start doing this one now. All right, so that's it for that story, and I am going to slowly open the front page so I can.
Anyway, Bloodmoon Ursaluna EX.
No. I have no sense of how much.
For those of you who are just listening to the podcast, I just completely jumped the gun. He hadn't even clicked at the homepage yet.
He's not giving me 3. He's not giving me 3 seconds to breathe. I can't get a sense of how much is left today or pace myself. So also announced on Thursday. I love it though. Also announced on Thursday was that Bloodmoon Ursaluna EX box is also releasing on November 15th for $21.99. It'll come with a new alternate art version of Bloodmoon Ursaluna EX that we haven't seen in Japan yet, a jumbo version, and Cosmos / Galaxy foil versions of Hoot Hoot and Noctowl, and of course 4 booster packs and a code card. The artwork hasn't been seen in Japan yet, which means it's probably coming Terastal Festival, which is also an argument against, I guess, those other cards being placeholders, because we are seeing these. Although, unless they're from like an even more future set, but no, they would.
I don't think so.
Yeah, no. Okay, yeah. So I think that's definitely probably not a valid theory, but yeah, so it'll have alternate artwork, as is the one in our next story, which I'll pull up real quick because they're kind of similar. Ogerpon EX Premium Collection is also coming with a new full art alternate art version of Ogerpon EX. That collection will release on November 15th for $40. Also comes with Cosmos foil versions of Teal Mask Ogerpon and Ogre's Mask, as well as 65 card sleeves featuring Ogerpon and a display base and a code card. And again, the Ogerpon alternate art will probably come from Terastal Festival.
Yeah, they're both decent products. I think the Bloodmoon Ursaluna box is a pretty good thing to have exist just to make the Bloodmoon Ursaluna even more accessible. I don't love this art. I think it's kind of goofy looking.
Yeah, I thought that too. What is it? What is with its mouth?
I don't know, but it's fine. Whatever. It does the same thing.
Yeah, it's weird. Do people play this a lot?
Yes, this card does see play. Quite a bit of play.
Oh, okay. Oh, I didn't know.
Yeah.
And then the Ogerpon EX Premium Collection. Yeah, I know that one does for sure. This should bring the price down for Teal Mask Ogerpon, obviously, EX. What else do we want to say about this collection?
I mean, it's fine. It has the product that helps drive the price down of the secondhand market for Teal Mask Ogerpon. Honestly, that's the biggest element of these kinds of boxes for players is they drive down the price of the secondhand market for the cards that matter.
You just cut out for me. But I'm guessing you said it's really good.
I said it's really important for the secondhand market to drive down the price of these cards.
Yeah, and I think
that's really what these products do.
Yeah, exactly. That's a strategy that they definitely employ with these to make the game more accessible to kids. Like Pokemon is just so easy to jump into, like compared to the other, like Yu-Gi-Oh! Magic. Like the price of a deck is just so much less, and cards are so much more accessible. So that is a benefit to being a card game marketed at children, is that you have to make it more affordable. And so that's a good thing for everybody. And then the Pokemon are, of course, marketable themselves as designs, like collectors and little kids, obviously like Ogerpon. Yep. So it's win-win for everybody. Same with Charizard, that Charizard EX deck. Win-win for everybody. Mm-hmm.
Should we look at some merchandise for Paradise Dragona?
Dang it, you already saw it. Yeah.
It's almost like I have the homepage open on my screen, too.
Oh, I didn't realize. Dang it. Okay. Paradise. So last night we both got up to, we both cleared our schedules to cover Paradise Dragona card reveals. And then it was like maybe 10 minutes before I thought they were going to come, I had prepared the story with all the translations and everything of the cards that we have. And I looked and I was like, oh, wait a second. We don't have the accessories yet. How is it that they haven't revealed the accessories when they're going to be revealing the cards tonight? And then I looked at the calendar and I was like, oh, wait a minute.
Yeah. So I figured out how that happened, by the way. Oh. So I have this app I use to set like the countdowns for all the full set reveals. Uh-huh. And at some point I accidentally deleted the one for this one.
Oh.
For Paradise Dragona. And so I had to go back in and put it in. But on my streaming schedule that I have the reactions for my friends and I when we do the set reaction.
Uh-huh.
And that comes out right after, right? So instead of doing it,
so you just got mixed up
the week. No, but basically, so like we get the full reveal the week prior to the release.
Yeah.
Right. So what I was doing is putting, instead of just advancing it one, like it would actually be, I was advancing it 2 weeks when I put it back in. So that's why my alarm told me to do it for yesterday instead of for next Thursday.
Well, and I always put the reveals in my calendar so I know when they're coming. But since you messaged me and said, "Oh, it's tonight," I was just like, "Oh, guess I just was a week off."
Well, I was just anticipating it. I was like, I don't want to mess this up. Let me make sure I'm awake because I've screwed that up before.
Next week, I'm going to it's always the first Thursday of the month. I go to a gaming event, and where we all play video games or board games or whatever. And the reveals, the PokemonCard.com reveals always disrupt all those events for me. So now I have the new story ready and for next week, and I'll just have to update it with any new cards that get revealed between now and then just post it, and then we just go through the new cards.
Had one this morning.
Yeah, so it worked out for me. Anyway, so the story is that the Pokemon Center has revealed its Paradise Dragona TCG accessories for September, as you can see here. Latios deck box and card sleeves, Drayton card sleeves.
Is it bad that I think the Drayton card sleeves are like the worst product here?
I didn't really look at them, but why do you think that?
They're not technically bad. They're just like everything else is better. Does that make sense?
I mean, I guess maybe it's because the shot is more distant of him. Like the artwork is kind of like his full body and he's sitting down, where it's not really like.
It's also very muted in general.
Yeah, like the background, it's purpley, purple atmosphere, purple border, purple everything, maybe.
Yeah.
And then we have Lycia with Altaria deck box, Lycia with Altaria card sleeves, Lycia with Altaria rubber playmat. She reminds me of just like, she's always reminded me, her design, of just like a typical like music anime character or whatever.
She's an idol.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That's right. That's probably why she reminds me of that. Then we have this cool premium Alolan Executor deck box. It's the kind where the we've seen them many times where when you unfold it, the fold part comes completely off, and it's like leatherette with stitching. And then card sleeve versions of it. Oh, and I love this art, by the way. It reminds me of like the Tropical Mega Battles or whatever. And then also an a card frame with Dragon Pokemon artwork around the frame. Like you can see here, Dratini.
And that Alolan Executor EX is not included, right?
No, that's why I got confused for a half a second. No, this card is not included. They just used it there for whatever. They should have just like turned a card around and put it in that sample image.
Right.
I don't know why they did that. But anyway, yeah, so those are the accessories releasing on September 13th, which is when the set releases. And as we just discussed, we will have the full reveal of the main set next Thursday. The new story is fully ready. We just have to update it with any cards that get revealed, and then it'll get published, and then we'll cover any other new cards revealed that night. And I'm sure we'll also get new illustration rares that night, next Thursday night as well from the set. So
I would expect we get some over the course of this next week too, because you and I were talking. There's not actually all that much that's new that they still need to reveal. Like, I'm amazed that they revealed anything of interest this morning, because they revealed an ace spec. Like,
something is off about this reveal cycle for me. I haven't looked at why, but it feels like they weren't.
I think it's because of Worlds.
Yeah, but it also
Worlds
feels like they're
warped it.
But it also feels like they're not revealing anything that great. Like, usually is it just not a good set competitive wise? Let's get to that actually. Do you want to talk about?
Yeah, it's been pretty.
Do you want to? Is that the next thing now? The going over the.
Not quite. We have a couple other articles.
Let's just do that Paradise Dragona now. Because now
you don't want to color the GameStop promos real quick.
No. Well, I'll do that after. Let's do Paradise Dragona. I want to see what.
All right, let's start with Energy Search since we're at the top already, or Energy Search Pro. Sorry.
Wait. Let me read it because I don't even know what it does. Sorry. It does Energy Search Pro Trainer Item A Spec. Search your deck for any number of basic energy cards of different types, reveal them, and put them into your hand. Then shuffle your deck. Okay. Well, that's good.
So, to be very clear for those who are confused, because I know some people were confused in the comments, you get to pick one, or you get to pick any number of different types, and you get to get one of each of those.
You just get to...
Basically.
Yeah, so you can get, 8 basic energy, basically.
Mm-hmm. Insanity, yeah. So you get, Darkness of Fighting Grass.
The R, it left out poor fairy type.
Fairy's no longer in the game anymore. It's gone. It's dead. They killed it. They murdered it and stuck it in a back alley.
Yeah, poor fairy. Okay, so the way I was reading it just now is you could if you have like a deck with grass, fire, and water energy, you can get one of each. You can't get
I think
10
for a
each.
lot of decks, Earthen Vessel is just better.
Yeah.
For one, Earthen Vessel's not an ace spec taking the slot. This is very much a card that needs a deck to want it. And there are very few decks that could ever really want this. Like, there's a Grafai in Standard that could use this, but it's not a very good deck or not a very good card in general. The Goldango could maybe make use of this, but again, there's probably just better stuff for it. And in Expanded / Eternal, you've got a Smeargle that could maybe use this. But all in all, it's just not that good, unfortunately.
I guess
it's kind of meh.
I guess they released it because Dragon Pokemon have, like 3 different types. Terrestrial Pokemon, Stellar Pokemon have like 3 different types. So it makes sense to come up with something like this. But
yeah, it's one of those flavor cards, I think, more than use.
Uh-huh.
Maybe down the road they'll surprise us with something that really, really wants this and could do really, really well by it. But as what we currently know, I don't see anything especially of note for this card.
And I'm trying to think how else we could have worded this to be a little clearer, but I don't think there's...
No, it's literally the phrasing.
Yeah.
So, because I did the wording for this card.
Yeah.
It's the phrasing from Mirage Gate plus the phrasing from Energy Search.
It's definitely... Yeah, because I was thinking in my head, well, you could say... no, it would just get really wordy if you... Well, maybe we should have put like in parentheses. This means one per type.
Just an editor's note for those who are incapable of understanding Pokemonese. Were people?
To
be fair,
how many people
Pokemon TCG code? Pokemon TCG text is kind of language in its own.
It is. No, it
there are some
is.
very, very specific wordings that you have to understand in order to understand how to play the cards and to understand how they work properly. I think let's go to the next card here, the next set of cards. We have Flapple, Appletun, and Applin from Paradise Dragona.
Just in time for Thanksgiving, fall. Mm-hmm. Starting to get cool here in California.
Love me some apple pie. I make a very good apple pie.
Ooh, I love apple pie.
Yeah.
I'm watching Snow White this week, and there's a lot of apple references, so I think that was getting me in the mood for the fall. And then when I got back from Hawaii, the temperature has dropped significantly and been dropped, so it feels like the fall is coming. And
I will take your temperature drops because it's still in the 90s here.
Oh, well, we should trade places.
Like last week it was like 115.
I love the heat actually. When it's sunny and warm, I wake up. Then when it starts to get into fall and winter, I go into hibernation and I'm always tired.
Okay, so one of these summers, I need you to come during the hottest part of the summer here and you can feel what an oppressive, humid, miserable heat there is here.
My family and I, we've been going to Palm Springs for years. It was just 125 there when we were there in July. Like, I love the heat. Maybe not the humidity.
That's on the coast. That's on the coast, though.
Yeah. It's dry heat here. Whereas, yeah,
that's very different. It's humidity. People in the comments can back me up on this. Humidity makes something that could be comfortable, even though it's fairly high heat, absolutely miserable. And it's weird too because it does the same for cold. Like a lot of people up north will be like, oh, well, it's only 20 degrees down there. It's not that cold. It's like, yeah, but it's also 90% humid and it feels a lot colder than it actually is.
It's like a wet cold.
It's a wet cold. It's really, really weird how the humidity works for both directions. It makes things feel much hotter than it is. It makes the temperature feel much hotter than it is and much colder than it is, depending on the weather.
Yeah, Palm Springs is behind mountain ranges, so it's in rain. I think it's what they call a rain shadow, where the mountains like absorb any rain clouds that come up to it. So the other side is deserty and dry. I think that's how deserts are geologically how they are formed. But what are we talking? Oh,
we're talking about apples.
Apples. I didn't even get to look at. I didn't really get to look at these yet.
We squirreled so hard on that.
You tweeted out the. You tweeted out this article at like 3 a.m. my time, and then I saw the art rares, and then I just downloaded them, and then put out a new tweet with just the art rares because they're cool. So I saw those, but I didn't see the regular versions yet. Okay, anyway, so tell me. Oh my God, this is ugly. Oh, what is this art?
That's Flapple for you.
Oh, why does so?
Flapple
this art looks like
ugly Pokemon.
This looks like Microsoft Paint or something. This looks like Deviant art.
Anyway. Don't blame the artist. It's Flapple.
All right, sorry.
So Appletun is really nothing to write home about, but Flapple, I mean, they're all nothing to write home back, frankly. Nothing to write home about, frankly. Anyway, Flapple has an attack called Sour Spit that does 20 times damage. It does 20 damage for each damage counter on your opponent's active Pokemon. This would be something that would be pretty decent for that single colorless energy on a basic Pokemon. On a stage 1, maybe as a tech card and something that runs Hydrapple. I don't think Hydrapple's worth it. You could play this in like a festival grounds sort of deck, again, as a tech, because it doesn't have the same name as Diplin. But it still evolves from Applin. Like, it's not the worst. I don't know how great it really is in practice. You do have Appletun. Appletun has Sweet Melt, which does 50 damage, and then says during your opponent's next turn, the defending Pokemon can't attack. That is vaguely interesting. I'm not sure, again, when this would actually be useful, because they can still switch out of it or do other things to kill that effect. But potentially that could be worthwhile. It's something if you're going to evolve into that specifically for that. And then you have Wild Tackle for Grass Fire, which does 130 damage. These are both cards that are like, maybe in a slower format, but probably not in standard. Flapple has potential. Appletun could theoretically be useful in a different format. I don't know. Especially Appletun, I don't think is ever going to see play in standard.
I love the Appletun illustration rare artwork because it's I love it when they're like slice of life, where they're showing just a Pokemon, being around humans kind of like as a pet, or doing construction work or whatever, just like Pokemon in their daily lives. I always like artwork like that, so this is pretty. And I also like Flapple's illustration rare here. I like the art style.
Yeah,
it's pretty.
For the record, I'd like for a format where these are actually like pretty viable cards. I just don't think that's where standard is right now. So,
are we getting? What's the other one? Hydrapple. Would we maybe be getting another one in this set? Is there room for it?
I don't. No, they would have revealed it. I don't think there's room for it.
Yeah,
not as a dragon type, and I'm not entirely sure. Well, maybe as a grass. I just don't think it's. I don't think it's happening either way.
They treat them. They treat Hydrapple differently than these two because it's part of a stage 2 line, whereas these are stage 1s and introduced at different times. So maybe from now on, maybe they're just. I don't know if they're gonna continue to split them up in the future.
I would just think they'd include the other two as dragon types if they're going to include these as dragon types, but maybe not.
All right. Next story is.
Let's look at Disruptive Letter, or as I translated it, Obstructive Letter.
Let me see. I want to read it because I don't know what it does.
The effects.
Your Disruptive Letter, trainer item. Your opponent counts the cards in their hand, shuffles them, and puts them at the bottom of their deck. Then your opponent draws that many cards. Oh, that's very disruptive.
So this is very similar to Peaking Red Card, kind of. It's like a weird mix of Peaking Red Card, INO, and Red Card. Basically, the idea is they're forcing them to shuffle their hand, putting that hand on the bottom of their deck, and they're drawing cards based on how many they put on the bottom of the deck. So it's good disruption. If they have a one-of card in their hand that they really, really need, you can get rid of it this way.
Can't you do that also like with Marnie and supporters that are already in decks?
So Marnie is not in standard format, but INO does exist.
Yeah.
So INO is another option, but INO expends your supporter card for the turn. So if you'd rather use something like a Boss's Orders, that's probably preferable
to this.
If you can nuke their hand down to a small size and then play this, that's also good. So you could play something like Zero-6 to nuke their hand down to 3 cards, and then play this, and then they're forced to 3 other cards. Because what they're going to do is they're going to try to save the 3 cards they want, or the 3 cards that they think are very important to their strategy, and then they're going to be forced to put those on the bottom of their deck and draw 3 different cards.
What is this weird artwork?
It's a letter.
Yeah. I wish they would come up with more like in-game items to use, not these like really random things. I wonder how they come up with these
so fast.
I wonder how they come up with these ideas. Like, what is it, like a legal letter? Something. It's
probably just like, okay, somebody doodle an item, like a random item, and we'll see if we can make it into something.
Yeah. No, I meant for this artwork. Like, what is this supposed to? Is it like a? What is like the
loop?
The lore of this?
The circle loop. It's a letter with a circle loop on it. It represents the cycle of your cards going from your hand to the bottom of your deck.
Yeah, but like, what is the letter in the? Never mind. Okay. Anyway, let's move on.
Yeah, it's a distraction.
It's a trainer card, and
it's a trainer card. They don't have cards. Enough. They just fill up the packs.
They don't have enough
Pokemon on them.
In-game items, I guess, to use for cards. So that's why they have to come up with these random objects. What was that one we were talking about that one time? What was that most random object they had for a card that we were laughing about? Do you remember?
I
don't remember. Anyway.
There are lots of weird items, though.
All right, now then Stellar Crown is coming out in 2 weeks, but pre-releases start now.
Pre-releases start now. I'm going to be going one this evening. I've got less than 4 hours before I have to run one, so I'm excited about that.
I'm probably going to hit one up if I can because I want the pretty Tropicos. But so the set comes out September 13th. We posted an article with the set list and all that. This is our smallest set since 2008's Forbidden Light, which is impressive, I think. It contains 175 cards, 142 in the main set, and 33 secret rares. So in comparison, Twilight Masquerade had 226 cards, which was 51 more, if I'm doing that math right. And as we already knew, our set will come from July's Stellar Miracle, the remaining cards from March's Battle Academy, the Venusaur EX and Blastoise EX from that triple starter deck, and then a few promos. A couple of the cards have been upgraded from uncommons to rare holos from the original Japanese set, and this is just because we only had 9 and had so much bulk coming in from Battle Academy that they just had to turn some into holos to balance it out. So you can see here some of the Cradily, Caracosta, Alcremé, Grimmsnarl, Melmetal, and Bouffalant. Only 3 cards were cut. The Noctowl Illustration Rare, which became the Elite Trainer Box promo, the Houndstone EX box, which is releasing for Halloween, and then the Tropicos EX Full Art, which is going in the Tropicos EX Ultra Premium Collection. Our set will have new Crystallized Basic Energy, which we already knew. They're numbered from 9 through 16. The original Basic Energy were 1 through 8. And yeah, I guess that's it. We've talked about these cards.
Yeah, we've talked about these cards before. Check out the article for the full breakdown of the set.
and everything else you need to know.
To me, this has the stink of Obsidian Flames on it, but your mileage may vary.
You know, I was kind of thinking that too once Stefan compiled the full set list and I saw how much bulk was in it. I was kind of thinking that too, but I also really like Terapagos, which is also like, you know, Obsidian Flames has the Charizard. Some people really
like Charizard.
Yeah, I know, exactly. It's the same thing. It's analogous. They throw in like the super popular Pokemon with a bunch of bulk so that people will still buy it. So like, I still kind of want it because I want the Terapagos card. I like Terapagos' design. I like its lore. I like that it's a turtle. I like that it's a fluffy turtle, like my war turtle who has a fluffy tail. So I like the fluffy turtles. So yeah, I'll stick with my
fluffy cat, but I like Terapagos too.
I have a fluffy cat. He's right here.
my cat is currently moping at the top of his cat tree.
Oh, and then
I don't know if you guys can hear him listening.
I like when I hear him in the background sometimes. This is my cat. His name is Kitty. I wasn't expecting to keep him when I found him because, as I said, I was not a cat person. But he's just so loving, and I just kept calling him Kitty because, like a kitty, and then the name just stuck, and so now he's called Kitty. Yeah. His legal name is Kit, but I call him Kitty.
I see.
Hi, Kitty.
He's a sweetheart, though.
Yeah, I kiss him all the time. I love kissing it. He always, I'll be sleeping in bed and he'll come and he'll lay on top of me and kiss me. And anyway, I love him. Next news story, and I think last news story, is that the store promos for Stellar Crown have been revealed to be
when I saw this headline, I was like, "This is gonna be the John struggles to read the headline."
The problem is that I am not a live thinker. I have to write everything out, so I'm not good at. I used to be really good at speaking on my feet. I was in speech and debate for 8 years. I was actually president in college, but because I've lived alone for so many years now, my speech centers, I guess, have degraded. So I have to hold on. If you give me 10 seconds, I'll figure it out. So arch, as in like a bridge arch. The alu, I guess, is like metal, like alloy. And then dawn, of course, because they always have dawns. Archaludon? Archaludon?
Yep.
Archaludon. Okay.
Archaludon.
Archaludon. Like, what is the
they
Ludon? What's
that metal world? For GameStop and for Best Buy.
Wait. What is? Oh, it's alloy. Right. Okay, I already said that. Yeah. Okay, so Archaludon is the GameStop promo coming with that beautiful red GameStop stamp. It'll be
beautiful in the most sarcastic of ways.
And then the Raging Bolt comes with the actually beautiful, stunning Stellar Crown logo. So the Archaludon will be at GameStop. The Raging Bolt will be at Best Buy. And then EB Games in Australia will have Archaludon with the EB Games stamp. All Cosmos Hollows. As usual, you have to spend $15 or more on TCG products to receive them. The offers are for both in-store and online. So if you go to GameStop.com or BestBuy.com, you'll get these added to your cart, presumably. Once this comes out on September 13th, once the set releases. So yeah, I'm glad that we're still continuing to get these store promos. I think it's a good thing. Yeah, it's funny though. Like, I never imagined Pokemon would be like highlighted at Best Buy. I never really thought of Best Buy as like a card place. I always thought more of like Target. So like GameStop and Target to me seems like a better thing. I don't know. But it's funny too that GameStop gets their own logo.
It would be like giving Walmart a promo.
What do you mean?
Giving Target a promo would be like giving Walmart a promo.
Isn't that a good thing? I mean, Walmart. I mean, I wouldn't want to get a promo card from Walmart because they're so mismanaged and full of people inside. It's like a zoo, Walmart. But Yeah, it's funny because like Best Buy doesn't get their own Best Buy stamp on these. They just get the set stamp for some reason. I don't know why GameStop gets their own stamp. I don't know what
they probably paid something for it.
Yeah, it's got to be something like that. But interesting. Either way, same with EB Games. They also have their own logo. But yeah, released September 13th with the set. They'll be printed on the Cosmos/Galaxy foil paper, and Raging Bolt will definitely be the more popular one because the Cosmos foil will be on the body of the card, and because of the rock layers in the background of the card body, and then it's got the better logo, the better art. Ursaluna is kind of like, I mean, it's good artwork. But
it's just kind of please buy me.
Bleh.
I think that's what Ursaluna says. It's like, I exist. Please buy me.
Yeah. And I think that's it for the week. You said there wasn't anything on the second page?
No, the first article is the
Greninja
podcast from last week.
Going to GameStop. Oh yeah, and speaking of, we were just talking about GameStop. The Greninja EX Ultra Premium Collection, as we talked about at the top of this episode, will also be at GameStop. So GameStop has some kind of deal with Pokemon, I guess.
Yep.
All right. Well, that's it for the week. Is there anything else we should talk about?
Yes, actually there is. Last week I asked people to maybe leave some reviews on Apple Podcasts.
Oh,
and you guys listened.
Oh, they did?
You guys listened. Okay, so first new review. This is a 5-star on Apple Podcasts. It said, my favorite Pokemon TCG, or weekly Pokemon TCG podcast. These two hosts are a great pair to provide a weekly rundown of all the latest TCG news. Their authentic presentation and teaming dynamic make it a perfect complement to both the Justin Basil and PokeBeach websites.
Did you write that?
I did not. It's good though, isn't it?
Yeah, it's nice.
You wrote that, right? No, I didn't. But it's good. It's good. Another one, a rare and exclusive grade 10 podcast. This is from Lemirio. I admit I collect the cards for being pretty and sparkly and also for having hilarious descriptions. So I'm not an expert by any means, but I have been getting some here or there since the early 2000s. It's cool to hear what it's cool to hear what may potentially be in the packs from a reputable source, and I also really like the website. I like the length of the show and the general commentary because it keeps me interested and makes me a bit more special to see a booster pack or new set and know I might find a favorite. Oh yeah, Ursaluna. I love that Pokemon. The perfect blend of derpy and a building? Anyway, cool show, and anyone who likes the cards for any reason will like it.
Oh, that's nice. I appreciate they took the time to write that.
Yeah, and then we have one from Titan Squid. It says, great podcast. Love the content, Pokemon TCG news, commentary on the side, plus some TCG strategy, and the dynamic between the hosts. As of the time of this review, the podcast is still relatively new, but I've listened to every single episode and feel like it's getting stronger and stronger. It is informative, insightful, fun to listen to, and funnier than expected. Probably because you and I just rag on everything. Okay, I rag on everything and you try to hold me back. I get it.
God, I remember that one of those early episodes. You were like, "No, they mistranslated something or whatever," and you're like, "They have to be fired. They have to be fired." And I was like, "Oh God, we have to cut that out." Like, we were like,
"Look, I can be a little feisty sometimes." Okay.
Yeah, and I was like, "Oh my God, we cannot post that. The poor people don't have to be fired."
And then Scooby-Doo 11 Bus says,
Scooby-Doo loving bus?
Scooby-Doo 11 Bus. 11. Like the number 11.
Oh, okay.
PokeBeach has really been helpful because I have not been able to really go to these Pokemon events, so it's nice to have a reliable podcast that will keep me up to date on the meta. Keep it up. And then finally, our last one for this last go-around, and if you haven't already reviewed on us on Apple Podcasts, this is your chance. This is your reminder.
I can't review. I don't have Apple. How do I review?
Okay, well,
remember when we were trying to
download iTunes, make it happen.
I remember when we were trying to set up this podcast originally. It took like 3 months because I couldn't figure. I would borrow friends' Apple things to try to get it on there.
I had to be the one to set it up on Apple Podcasts.
You finally had to just set it up because I didn't have Apple things. So
this one is from NBB215. Thank you from Wellington, North Carolina. Hey guys, just got back into playing and collecting Pokemon in the past few months after a 20-year hiatus. Wow. I love spending my personal time and relaxing and listening to the banter while learning about everything current. Appreciate you two and keep doing your thing. So, thank you everyone for leaving your reviews on Apple Podcasts. We very much appreciate it. Of course, also we thank you for your comments, for your likes, for all of your engagement, because we love it. Your likes, your retweets, everything, all the things. It means a lot to us because, look, we do this because we have fun, but we also do this because we like to make sure that there's like good, reliable, valuable information out there in the world that isn't full of just disinformation
or fake excitement.
And that's another thing too. If I'm excited about something, there's probably good reason.
Yeah, same.
Because anybody who's been watching this podcast for a long time knows there was a string of episodes where people were like, man, Justin Basil needs to freaking chill. He hates everything. It's like, no, I don't. This stuff just sucks.
Yeah. Sometimes it's good to be objective, and we don't get excited over things that aren't that aren't worth it. But when we do, it's because we actually genuinely are excited. So exactly. I think that's the difference. Sometimes in this internet age or whatever, like people are constantly like sugary with everything. I guess that's how you get engagement or likes or look at this amazing card. It's a 30 HP Weedle with a single attack. It does 10 damage for one color's energy. It's amazing. Best card
it's
ever.
Not. It's bulk.
And then best card ever.
We're gonna make a 10-minute video about that 30 HP Weedle and how it's gonna change the game. No, I'm sorry, we're not doing that. If it sucks, we're gonna tell you it sucks.
I mean, I've been running this website since I was 14 for 21 years, and it's supposed to just be a reliable, honest place to get news about the card game because we're all fans here. There's no corporate involvement or. I don't particularly even care really about the likes and views or anything like that. I think I've said I've only ever checked maybe like 6 times how many visitors we get when people have asked. But I do this because I just love talking about Pokemon with people and bringing people together as a fandom to discuss this and to bond over it. That's, like I always say, it's the power of this franchise. So, we're doing this just for fun. Like, how many views I think we only get like 2,000 views on YouTube or something. I don't even know what they are. Let me look. Like, it's not even like a significant amount, but it's just fun to hang out and talk about Pokemon. So, that's the motivation, I guess, for doing all this.
Last week's
it's because it's definitely not the views.
3,500. That's actually a lot higher than I expected. That's good.
Maybe it's good. I don't know. But for if when I'm sitting in the car watching YouTube, that's a drop in the bucket for just like other topics in life. But anyway, the point is that the point is
we're not here for the view count.
That is the point. That is exactly the point. I don't care about the views. I don't care about the likes. We have to say that, I guess, just because. Like, comment, subscribe.
But that doesn't mean we don't appreciate them, okay?
Yeah, exactly. But we're here just to hang out and talk about Pokemon. That's the whole point of this.
Absolutely.
All right, so I think that's it for the week. We have coming up next week, we have Paradise Dragona full set reveal with maybe a couple more secret rares, and then all of the secret rares will be revealed the following week. I think we're going to start to ratchet up with the news because the holidays are when people tend to spend their money. So that's when Pokemon releases a bunch of products and sets and announcements and things. So I think we're going to start to get into this second half of the year with a lot more excitement once it gets rolling.
And this is kind of a more personal note. I am moving soon, so we'll see. Hopefully that doesn't impact our recording schedule, but it might.
Where are you moving?
We'll see how that goes.
Oh, from one Texas part to another?
About 35 minutes away from where I currently live to be much closer to work.
Nice. Yes. Oh, that'll be much better for you.
Yeah.
Nice. I forgot what else. I guess
you're going to give them a Pokemon. That's what you're going to give them.
Am I going to give it this time?
I have a cat down there.
Let's say, I don't know. Politoed. I love Politoed.
Polytoad it is. Leave Polytoad in the comments if you've made it this far in the episode. I will say I'm amazed at how many people made it through the entirety of last week's episode. That was a long episode. It was a good one, but it was a long episode.
Do you think people like? Is it? I'm not really tuned in with how the social media world works anymore, but like, is it that people just listen like when they're in the car? Are they listening just when they have downtime? Like, are they actively listening, or is it just on in the background?
Let's just poll the comments. How do you listen to the Poke Beach podcast?
Yeah, I guess. I'm going to say when I'm on the
toilet. Are you watching it on YouTube? Are you listening while you're working? Are you on Apple Podcasts? Are you on Spotify, Google Podcasts? How are you listening?
Are you on the toilet?
What is it you're doing? Are you sitting on the toilet?
I read Reddit on the toilet. So.
Appropriate for the quality of the content. All right.
All right, everyone. We will see you all next week. Have a good week, and make sure you go to your Stellar Crown pre-releases. I'm going to probably be going to one tomorrow. And yeah, have a fun 3-day weekend. We will see you next week. Bye.
Have a good one. Bye.